Can you please state your name for the record?
Alexandria Gomez.
Hi, Alexandria. Have you ever experienced a head injury in a sport?
Yes.
What was the injury?
A concussion.
What sport were you playing?
Softball.
How old were you when you got the injury?
I was in 7th grade, so like 12.
Okay. Could you please explain to me what happened on that day?
I was playing during a softball game, and I went up to bat, and the pitcher hit me in the head with a softball. My helmet flew off, and then I fell to the ground and had a concussion.
So, did you know right away that you had had a concussion?
No, it never really crossed my mind. Later, we went to doctors and realized that I had had a concussion.
Were you out for the whole season?
No, I didn't play the rest of the game, but I had headaches after, so that's why I went to the doctors.
Oh, okay, so those were your symptoms?
Yeah, I had headaches and was vomiting the day of the game.
Okay. Do you still experience any of these symptoms?
No, a few months after the accident, I would still get headaches, but not anymore.
Okay, did it affect your play in later years in softball or any other sports you played?
I was a little more afraid of getting hit, but it never really affected my playing.
Okay, did it make your parents or you ever contemplate you quitting the sport?
No, I think my parents were obviously upset that I had a concussion, but they never wanted me to stop playing because of it.
So you weren't ever scared or nervous after to go on the field again?
I was a little bit nervous when I went up to bat, especially if it was that girl. But no, not really.
So if you ever had kids, would you let them play a contact sport?
Yes.
You're not nervous of long-term effects that could happen after a concussion?
Of course, I would be nervous, especially like being a mom, but I wouldn't want them to not play. I like sports and I think they're good for kids.
So you think that contact sports and team sports, what are your overall opinion on those?
I think like kids should play sports. I think concussions are serious though, and so kids should be careful and cautious while playing, especially sports such as football.
Okay, and do you think that helmets are doing the job that they should be doing nowadays? Like you had mentioned you were wearing a helmet when you had your injury.
Yeah, and I fell off. I guess people expect more out of helmets than
they're capable.
they're capable of, especially in sports like football.
Do you think that when people are wearing helmets, they think they can do more?
Yeah, I think they're more comfortable hitting other players, especially with their head. I think if they weren't wearing helmets, they'd be more careful, but then that could also be dangerous not wearing a helmet.
Do you think that contact sports should ban hitting or fighting if it's a sport like hockey, or do you think that it poses a threat? Like, do you think that tackle football, do you think all football should be touch football, or what are your thoughts and opinions on that?
I think players should just be more educated about the consequences of concussions, but I don't think the sport should change, especially because technology changes and helmets could be safer.
Okay, and you think that they still have the potential to become safer in the future?
Yeah, and then with the proper education of players knowing not to put their head in when they hit another player.
So do you think it's important to be able to identify it right away, like that these players can't play after this happens?
I think it's important to get checked right if you get hit in the head ever, just because it's not always clear that you have a concussion. Like, I didn't know I had one until I went to the doctors a few days later.
Yeah, and not knowing is very important, or knowing that you have a concussion is very important. Did you, since you didn't know, did you like go to sleep that night? Because I don't know if you know, but when you have a concussion, you're not supposed to, like, you're supposed to wake up in intervals.
Yeah, luckily I was awake for a few hours after the concussion, and I had only really thrown up right after the accident, but I didn't continue throwing up. I was lucky though, because it is dangerous to fall asleep with a concussion. The
Yeah.
doctor had told me that.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.